Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Advice to Think Twice. My name is Monica and I'm here with your daily advice for June the 6th, 2017. My apologies, I wasn't able to do the 5th, the daily for the 5th. I ended up traveling during the weekend. It wasn't planned, and by the time I got back I was very tired, and so I just couldn't do the video for the 5th. So we're doing the one for the 6th and taking it from there. But I hope everyone had a good weekend, got some rest and recharged the batteries. And so now we're going to look at the energies that surround us on the 6th or around the 6th. Whenever you hear the message, that's when it's intended for you. That's when it's meant for you to hear it. And if you're new to my channel, this is a general reading looking at the energies that surround us at this time and what we need to know about these energies in order to use them for our highest good. Since we're looking at energies, these will talk about different things to different people, so try to keep an open mind and take away the message of the reading and then see if it applies, or see if you can apply it to what you're experiencing, to what you're going through, if it helps with that. Okay, so the first card that we have represents the influence of the past on our current situation, and this is the Two of Swords. So with the Two of Swords, this just shows that this is what is influencing us today, and this is coming from our past. And so with the Two of Swords, it talks about a time in our lives when we were stuck or we were torn between at least two different things that looked equally as good or equally as bad. The Two of Swords talks about the difficulty in making a choice because we're afraid of making the wrong choice. And so what that does, it ends up making us paralyzed, so we don't make a choice because we're afraid of making the wrong choice. And before we know it, things just happen and we then have to deal with the consequences. So the Two of Swords comes up as a time in our lives when we were given a choice, we were given a say in a situation, but for whatever reason we were afraid to do that. We were afraid to take that opportunity, and therefore we ended up having to deal with the consequences of whatever just happened. And the Two of Swords is definitely a card that talks about overthinking things. So we may have hesitated to make that choice or to speak up because either we were thinking too much, we were putting too much pressure on ourselves, we were trying to think about everyone and how this would affect every single individual. And so we pretty much, by overthinking it, we made it an impossible choice. And that's what's influencing us today. Because today we are still in a place of confusion, something more like a daze. We have the Seven of Cups, and I think this is the Charmin Casali Tarot deck. The Seven of Cups is a card that talks about starting to see options, or it could just talk about a situation where now things come back around and we have a say again. We get an option again for us to choose, for us to pick what would work for us, what would be best for us. And so with the Seven of Cups talks about looking at our options, contemplating things. Similar energy to the Two of Swords. There are differences, but there are similar energies as well, in terms of we still have to make a choice. However, before we were trying to be logical, we were trying to think things to death and just look at every single aspect, and that just petrified us. Whereas this time around we have the Seven of Cups. That means we're involving the emotional aspects of ourselves. We're involving our heart into making this decision. And that's actually what the Two of Swords should have been doing, because those two swords crossed over her heart mean that she's blocking her heart. She's blocking her intuition. And that's why that choice is so impossible. Whereas now we're bringing our hearts into it. We're contemplating, we're daydreaming about our possibilities. But first of all, we're facing them. Okay, we're not hiding away and blindfolded anymore. We're not afraid to face them. And we are definitely bringing in our intuition with whatever choices we have to make today. We're looking at, how do I feel about this option? How do I feel about this opportunity? Does it make me feel happy and excited? Or does it make me feel afraid or like I want to run the other way? And so with the Seven of Cups today, for some of us this feels like the opportunity we had in the past may be coming back around. And so whatever we couldn't decide upon first or a while ago, we can decide upon now. We do have a different approach to this, so bringing our hearts and our intuition into it will definitely clear things up for us and make our choice a little bit more obvious. For those of us, the Seven of Cups is about, changing our attitude when it comes to making choices for ourselves, making choices for our goals, our plans, jobs, relationships, anything, okay, any choice, big or small. We have learned from the past, and now we at least are facing our options. We're bringing our intuition into it, and before we know it, we will have a clear decision. So we are working on our confidence, I feel, with making choices today. The difference between these two, well, one similarity is that both of them could lead to not making a choice. With the Two of Swords, it's because we're afraid of making a choice, and with the Seven of Cups, we could not make a choice because we're taking too long to decide. Okay, or we're looking at too many things at the same time, or trying to do too much at the same time. So I do feel like for today, it's all about using our discernment, learning to trust ourselves, and learning to make decisions based on intuition, based on instinct, and therefore fast decisions. Okay, learning to make some fast decisions that we're confident with could be the theme for today. And the energy that we're moving into tomorrow with is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is a major arcana card. This comes up as receiving someone's blessing or giving someone our blessing for some of us. But the Hierophant, in terms of energy, it's a card that talks about setting up some new rules, setting up some new ways of making decisions, setting up a new life for ourselves. Maybe the choices that we have to make today are about a marriage, a job, a big commitment in terms of a big loan or a mortgage or anything like that. Do we start a family? Do we not? So the energy that we're moving into tomorrow with is definitely being more aware about or of the commitment that is going to be made, but also trying to feel more at ease with the decisions we're making. Yes, we're trying to think about things, but we're bringing our hearts into it as well, and we're trying to keep ourselves calm and with a level head, think about the future, thinking about things in perspective, because it feels like we are starting new traditions, or we're starting new ways of life during this time, or that's the energy surrounding us, so it may be influencing us for a while now. And our guidance card is the Merlin, and it is a number 1, so it does talk about new beginnings, and it does talk about alchemy, justice, and balance. So it's similar to the Magician. You have the Merlin, the Magician, the Wizard, whatever you want to call it. And this is a card that, similar to the Magician, says that you have everything you need to be on your way. You have everything you need to make something happen. So once again, the message here is look at everything you have to work with, and then figure out the best way to use your resources to get your desired outcome. It's also about balance. So once again, having that balanced approach, not trying to be too rational, not trying to be too emotional, or allowing yourself to be too emotional, also comes up here. There's a blend of really, mind, body, and soul, which is also what the Hierophant represents. These 3 layers in its crown, that's the mind, body, and the soul, the balance between mind, body, and soul. And with this, it's the balance between the rational, the emotional, and the spiritual that gives us our decision, and the right decision for us for a long time to come, for whatever it is we're starting today. It's also about justice, so that's about being fair. So for those of us who, when we're making our decisions, we're trying to be fair to everyone around us. That's wonderful and that's great, but we also have to be fair to ourselves. So when we have to make a decision that's going to be for ourselves, we need to be the focal point in that decision, because it's going to affect us first and foremost, and then the people around us. So it's good to keep that in mind and try to keep that balance. But at the end of the day, think about, okay, who is this for? I have to make this decision for me, for myself, and keeping that just, keeping that fair. So I do feel like today is about epiphanies. Today is about, revelations. Today is about reaching a conclusion or reaching a decision that we may have been struggling with this Two of Swords for a while now, in terms of where does my commitment go? Is this what I want? Does this make me happy? And so for today, I feel like we're finding that place of being a little bit more confident with it, more at ease with it, enough to take a breath, look at our options, look at the possibilities, and then see what our hearts tell us, see what our intuition brings to the table. Because I do feel we may have a decision in terms of a commitment by the end of the day or in the coming days. It's going to be different for everyone depending on what you're dealing with. But it's definitely about, decisions about new beginnings and where you commit for a new beginning. And I feel that with this kind of approach, with the guidance that they're giving us, we can reach a conclusion, we can reach a solution that we are happy and at peace with, okay? So that's our message for today. I hope it makes sense. I hope it helps. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you so much for all your support. I really do appreciate it. I plan to be posting the love monthlies. I think today or tomorrow at the latest. I still have some private readings to get out today as well. So stay tuned for those. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy your general forecast for the month and your daily messages and everything else that I post on social media, on my blog. I hope it helps. So thank you. Let's have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.